Hey guys, my name's Lauren, and today I wanted to share with you one of our favorite recipes for our 20-month-old son. It's called Kitchari. We call it mush around here. That's because it turns into a consistency that sticks to a spoon, or you can ball it up and little ones can get it into their mouth by themselves. So it's awesome for learning how to eat and eat with utensils. So pressure cooker is pretty basic. They're all different, but a lot of people are scared of them, but I use it almost daily. You always line up the two arrows and then slide it to close, and then there's an indicator that tells you when it's up to pressure. And once it's up to pressure, it's impossible to open, so you bring it down by turning the flame off and just letting it come down by itself. So I'm gonna start by heating my pan, and then I let it get a little bit hot before I add my oil. I'm gonna use coconut oil, organic coconut oil. It's an awesome oil because it's antifungal, antibacterial. We add onions. So these spices are super beneficial for the little one's immune system. We have antibacterial, anti-inflammatory, and they give a lot of flavor. But I used about 2 cloves of garlic and about a 1/4 inch both of ginger and turmeric. So I'm gonna throw that in with the oil and the onions. Oil carries flavor, so you wanna put the spices in with the oil before you add the other ingredients, and it helps it permeate throughout your dish. I wanted to show you how I peel ginger. It's just a super quick trick that you can use your spoon and just take the skin off. So next I'm gonna add curry powder. This is just a sweet curry blend. And then I'm gonna add carrots, zucchini here. So you can see I'm putting a ton of veggies into this, although in the end it's gonna seem like a grain dish, which makes it more comfort foody for the kids, but you're sneaking in tons of veg. Lastly, and this is optional, we can add kale. I love getting kale into Robin's diet. So we're gonna let the vegetables saute and become wet and soft, and then we're gonna add our grains. So while they're cooking, I'm gonna add beans and grains. So lentils, red lentils are more digestible than some other lentils, also yellow ones are. So those are the 2 that I typically go for. And then we have sweet brown rice here, which is an awesome grain because it's a whole grain, but it's sticky like sushi rice, which makes the mush mush. So you can find this in the bulk section at a lot of natural foods grocers. I always add a little bit of another grain and I mix it up just to keep it varied. So this is millet. Millet's loaded with silica. It's really good for hair, nails, eyes. We can add just 1 part or a little bit of millet in, and sometimes I use quinoa or buckwheat or amaranth or whatever I have on hand, but it's nice to vary their grain intake. So then we're gonna add cooking liquid, and I have some fresh vegetable stock here, but you can just buy store-bought veggie stock, or water is totally fine for this. When I make vegetable stock, I like to use whole vegetables instead of just vegetable scraps, and it makes it a bit more nutritious. So I'm going to add enough liquid to go about 4 inches above the veggies and rice and lentils here. So you can soak your grains and beans overnight and then discard the soaking liquid and use those, and it makes it even more digestible for babies that have a little bit of a sensitive stomach. Then I'm gonna add my kombu, which is incredibly nutritious, but it's also really beneficial for eliminating gas in beans. So the lentils are more digestible if you add kombu. Cook it with any beans that you're cooking to make them more tender and digestible. So we're gonna put about 2 inches in. We're gonna cover up the pressure cooker. Turn it on high to start. Once it comes up to pressure, we'll bring it down to low and then cook it for about 25 minutes. It looks perfect. So we've got our mush. When it cools, it firms up. Okay. Do you want a bite? Robin.